5 o'clock, KTIK, The Ticket, Idaho Sports Talk, about to get a little hot in here with our favorite athlete at Boise State. I just said that, Prater. I meant it. Tyson Degenhart in studio getting ready for a spectacular season, senior season on the hardwood. Mountain West Media Days coming up this week. This is our Dollar Loan Center video segment, so you can go to our YouTube channel, JP. Maybe the fact that we have T. Deggy in with us right now, we can get, 10, 15 subscribers on this interview alone. Welcome, everybody. Tyson Degenhart back in the friendly confines of the rowpaint.com studio. This is what, your third, fourth time being here?
I think three for sure. Three for sure.
We think you're the clubhouse leader. We don't usually invite people back because, for lots of different reasons. But yeah. You have an open invite to enjoy us anytime you want. So
I remember one of the times it was March Madness a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I called on the wrong day. I think I called JP and it was like, I'm here for the interview. Like Nate told me, he's like, that's actually tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I messed up. He's like, you can come into the studio. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
I remember that because I saw your last name, or I think your mother's name on our caller ID, Sue Degenhart or whatever. And I was like, what, is Tyson's mom calling the show because she wants to talk about it? And JP's like, that was Tyson. He was early for his interview by 24 hours.
That's funny. By the way,
hey, I'm Bronco ready.
I just got a phone call from Chris Vanini at The Athletic, and I'm not saying that because he covers college football for The Athletic, and we have him booked for tomorrow. He's going to come on tomorrow and talk about the G5 race, Army and Navy in Boise State, and he called, and it's booked for tomorrow. But he called a few minutes ago saying, I'm waiting for you guys. Yeah. And then like 3 minutes later, he goes, crap, I just looked at my text message. It's tomorrow, isn't it? So there's a tease for tomorrow's show. It does happen, Tyson Degenhart.
Hey, we're Bronco ready. Bronco ready.
That's what they call Bronco ready, 24 hours early. Your buddy Ashton Jeanty is Bronco ready. And before we get into your career in basketball and all the fun stuff you have going on in your life, I just want to get your perspective on what we're talking about every day here and how we're seeing the season that Ashton Jeanty is having. And you've known this guy for a few years. Let us know what your relationship is like with Ashton. And you're a huge football fan. What are you seeing with this dude? What?
I got to say that Washington State, his third touchdown, I think. No, it was right in the start of the third quarter. The one where he broke tackles and drug some guys into the end zone was probably the best touchdown I've ever seen.
Okay. Yep.
Just what he's doing is incredible. What Bronco Nation has done as a whole to get him this Heisman campaign that we started like way back in like January, and to see how far it's come. Like we got the T-shirt over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked around from our facility to like the student entrance to the tickets, and I probably saw 25, 30 shirts.
You did.
So whether it's that shirt or the jersey, the number 2, it's really cool. The only thing that sucks is I was at like a Boise Hawks game. I saw some guy, I was throwing the first pitch out, and I saw a guy wearing a number 2 jersey. I'm like, oh, he's wearing my jersey because he knows I'm coming. But no, it was Ashton's shirt.
You got to share the love, brother. You got to share the love. And you seem like the kind of guy that easily shares the love. That's not going to be a problem for you. I do have a quick basketball question for you because we just did talk about Ashton Jeanty and his pursuit of the Boise State record book. You are, and do you know how far you are away point-wise? Do you know the number from being the all-time leading scorer at Boise State?
500 something.
584. Last year you went 534. So to break the record, you have to have a career season with 50 more points than you've ever had. But dude, I think that's well in play, don't you?
Yeah, I mean the way we expect the season to go. I think we only played 33 games last year, so you add 2 more games in the conference tournament to get to that championship game, and add a couple more games in March Madness. I think that's feasible, but definitely not on my radar. I'm more focused on this team success.
What's a championship off season look like for you? Like what boxes do you need to check for you to get everything you can out of your off season?
Main thing starts with me is like, got to eat better, start that train, like make sure I'm getting good nutrients, eating good food. Shout out to Lean Feast.
So fat guys like Prater don't call you fat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about as slim as I have been.
You look fantastic.
You are, man.
You do. I think unbelievable.
I think it was that tweet or however it came up, what really motivated me to get back into shape. So I appreciate it, Prater.
I just said 5 pounds, and you've gone beyond that because you look fantastic. So
Well, when I need to play on the perimeter a little more, I need to be a little quicker, so I need to drop a couple extras from last year. But eating better, just getting in a good routine of like shooting, getting in the training room, doing my rolling. I got recovery boots, trying to do everything like that.
What are recovery boots?
They're like the compression. You put your legs in like a sleeve almost and zip them up, and it does like pressure, gets the blood flow going.
And you do that after every practice?
I do it at night, yeah.
And can you walk around in them?
No.
You have it almost like a balloon type of thing?
Yeah, they kind of blow up and compress your leg a little bit.
And you lay down and watch TV and you actually feel like you're getting something done because you got moon boots on?
Yeah, and I can do homework. I can watch TV. I can do whatever I need to do.
How do you move around, though? You have somebody.
I sit there.
So you have somebody like that has to get you something, like if you needed a glass of water, someone would have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to prepare. You're like, all right, if I need water, I need to put water next to on my nightstand.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I have the remote next to me. Make sure I have my chargers next to me.
I've never heard of that. Is that something new? And do you do that every night for like an hour?
It's like 30. I do like 30 minutes.
Okay.
We've had recovery boots in our training room for, gosh, how long? Ever since I've been here.
Okay.
But I bought some this summer because I was like, I need to take my recovery and make sure I'm doing everything I can to make sure my body's ready for this year.
Tyson Degenhart with us, 208-424-9300. If you bug JP, maybe he'll let you on and you can ask Tyson a question yourself, 208-424-9300. How are you mentally preparing for this senior season? I know Bronco Nation, me and Prater as well, like, we're going to miss you, man. Like, I don't want this season to go away. It's going to be bittersweet. Even if you guys make the dance for the 4th straight year, I'm going to be like, dang it. If they don't win at all, even if they do, I don't get to see Tyson play anymore. You preparing for this senior year feels like it's going to be a celebration of you and the career you've had here this senior year. How do you mentally prepare for the last year you're going to be a Bronco?
One of our like things in our maxim book is like live in truth. And one of the things I'm doing is like, I realize that my, the end of the road and my Boise State career is going to happen at some point. I know it's inevitable. It's going to happen to everyone. For me, it's just about maximizing every single day up until that point and just trying to live in the moment as much as I can, enjoying the ups and downs of practice, the daily grind of everything, like just trying to enjoy these moments before game starts, because once game starts, the season goes by way quicker than you ever think it could.
Mentally and physically, do you feel like you're on top of your game more than ever before? And just kind of describe how that makes you feel as a basketball player going into a new season.
Mentally, I've been really, really good. The shot's been feeling good. Physically, I mean, I've been taking care of my body a lot better, eating a lot better. So everything in that aspect has been really good. And yeah.
You've been a leader, obviously, by the way you play, but now, I mean, I know you got some other seniors as well, and no disrespect to anybody else on the team, but I kind of look at this as like, this is Tyson's team this year. He's been here the whole time. Max is finally gone, and I'll ask you about him in a second to see what he's been up to. But, from that leadership standpoint, are you going to do more this year? Is there more to do? Like, how are you approaching the fact that I'm sure you're going to be a captain? You're a senior. You've been here the whole time.
Coach Rice has been talking to us seniors about it. Like, you can, when you're like making orange juice, you can squeeze an orange, right? And get all
this coming from Leon's mouth.
Yes, I promise you can ask him about it.
Okay.
We actually talked about it this morning. We had a little group meeting.
Okay, squeeze an
so
orange.
You squeeze an orange, like juice comes out, right? But if you squeeze too hard, like it'll destroy the orange, if that makes sense. So like, I'm not going to put this excess pressure on myself to, be this leader that I'm not. I'm going to be what I am. I'm going to squeeze my orange of leadership out. And then I have some other great guys with Al and Omar and Javen and all those guys that have, been through college basketball, that they can help me lead when I don't, it's not my area or anything like that. I think it's a collective effort. It's not just me trying to, get as much juice out of that orange as I can. I can get as much while keeping it intact.
Gosh,
I feel bad.
Leon's smart.
I feel bad that we just got you some water. I mean, we should have got you some orange juice, for crying out loud. Basketball wise, it seems like 2 years ago you were a 5. It seems like maybe last year you were a 4. It seems like this year you might be a 3. I mean, as your basketball, what you're doing on the court as it evolves, how would you describe what's in front of you in terms of your basketball season?
It's going to be a mix of 4 and 3. Adding Dylan, our 7-footer, has been huge. He just like in practice, he just affects so many shots with his length. Like you don't realize how tall 7 foot is until you go up to the rim and he's
Yeah.
up there walling you up, and his hands touching at like 11.6 or whatever it is. Like
Wow.
it's hard to shoot layups over 7 footers. I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. And to have that paint presence inside and allows us to, be a little longer on the perimeter, have Omar play like the 4 with his long arms and I'm at the 3. I mean, that's a big front court that we have. So I think it adds a lot of great things to our team.
Do you like that evolution of where your career is going? And can we expect you being more of a perimeter shooter? And is that why you spend so much time in the gym this year, shooting?
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be times where they need to play me on the perimeter, and I can see that, how that can affect me going into the Pro Bowl. Like I need to look ahead and see that I'm not going to be this 6'8" man that's going to be in the pro. That just doesn't work because you have 7 footers all over the world that play basketball. So need to kind of see, like, as Coach always says, the forest for the trees. Like I need to continue in this direction of shifting my game more out to the perimeter for, success after college.
Are you happy with the shot that you've had this summer? I mean, are you a better shooter?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
I think you can ask anyone on our team. I think it's been the best I've shot the ball in my 4 years here.
Oh, that's going to be sweet, because I've been waiting for you to be this 44% 3-point shooter. And you've been a better shooter every year, but the percentages haven't reflected that. Your 3-point percentage has been down every year. Why the heck do you think that is? Because I know you're a better shooter than when you first arrived.
I think sometimes it's hard, like mentally, when you see a shot like miss, then you start to doubt yourself a little bit. And this year I've really been trying to focus on the mental side of things, and just like one shot is independent of everything else. It's just one shot, and that one shot, make or miss, doesn't affect the next one. So just really trying to stay, one thing at a time.
Let's get to the Double Tap Pub hotline, 208-424-9300. Still got a couple lines open if anybody wants to get in on this. Ryan, you're first up on Prater on the ball game. You got Tyson Degenhart here for you. Ryan, what's your question for Tyson?
Tyson, obviously, huge fan of Boise State. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying. My question is this: team chemistry. I mean, nobody wants an NCAA tournament win more than you do, more than you guys, more than this team. Tell me specifically, how does Cardenas help us? And then how is it to have a rival join the team? What's the dynamics? How does that work? Just like to get your thoughts on those two things.
Those are great questions. To add him to our team just adds this like veteran point guard presence that we just haven't had the last 3 years. Like even my freshman year, like E-Man playing the 1, he's not a traditional point guard. My sophomore year, Shaver, he's not a traditional 1. And to have a guy who is very, very, court savvy and just knows the game really, really well has been an incredible addition. And he's just such a great team guy. He cares about the team more than, ahead of himself. I can't remember what the second part of that question was.
The rival. I mean,
the rivalry thing.
It's not like they were really rivals.
Hey, they did beat us though. He'll tell you that they did beat us, and we should have won that game, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's just kind of fun to joke around about it, but he does provide some veteran insight on how they played certain teams in our conference, and have some stuff that they did that worked. Like they had a lot of success against. I think watching against San Diego State, played San Diego State tough last year. If you can look up this, I think they lost by 3 at their place, and then in San Diego,
they had
like
good
5.
guard play.
They had great guard play, and I think just having that veteran presence that's been in the league, that knows how the league works, knows the coaches within it, is a huge advantage for us.
In some ways, Leon is very predictable. In other ways, he blows us away with his unpredictability. I'm going to predict, and he uses this phrase because I think he's fallen in love with it. And I've talked to a couple of your coaches and a couple of other people within the program over this summer. Leon is never going to have a team without a European point guard ever again, is he?
I mean, we have some great point guards that are learning from Alvaro here. So there's going to be some European,
influence,
information passed down from, Alvaro to Chris to Julian to all of our guards. That it's been really, really helpful. They've gotten a lot better this summer with having him here.
I have a feeling Alvaro, we're going to look at him. We're going to be like, it feels like he's been here for 3 years, not just 3 months. So I can't wait for that. Let's get back to the Double Tap Pub hotline. Tim, appreciate you holding. You're up. You're live on Prater in the ball game. Tim, what's your question for Tyson?
Hey, Tyson. Good luck, bud, this year. My quick question is, we know about the big fella and we know about the transfer point guard, but just based on the pickup ball and things you've been playing this fall, is there a name or two that we may not be as familiar with that you think we might know about before the season is over?
I can give you a couple. So Andrew Meadows been shooting the crap out of the ball.
Nice.
He showed some spurts last year, but just seeing him more confident this year in his role, he's been shooting the crap out of it. Um, a guy who redshirted last year, Chris Lockett's been a very, very good guard addition to kind of counterpart Al. And when Al needs a break, like Chris will come in and run the one for us. And then you add a guy who came at semester last year for us, Emmanuel Ugbo.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a 6'8", 240. He's a big body and he's very, very athletic. Can protect the rim for us. So I think those are three guys that you can expect us to have good things from this year.
Great stuff, Tim. 208-424-9300. My quick question is the minutes of Tyson Degenhart. You've averaged 31.7 minutes in your career. You've played 101 games here. Last year you were at 33 minutes a game. Has Leon and the staff talked to you? Was that good for you, sitting 7-8 minutes a game? Would you like to lower that or maybe raise it a little?
I'm good with whatever they feel for me. I mean, it's definitely a feel thing, just kind of seeing how the game's going, what lineups are working. Like, never want to be the guy that, comes into a game and takes a spot of one of the guys that's been playing really well. I know Coach Rice has a great feel about rosters and things like that and who's playing well. So if it's around there, that's always good with me.
You're going down to Vegas tomorrow, Mountain West Media Days, and getting ready for the season that's going to start here in just a few days or a few weeks. It's crazy. Who are, as you follow this league and you're a student of this league. So when the poll comes out, I think on Thursday morning, the preseason stuff, Boise State's obviously going to be very high, maybe even number one. Who are the dominant teams going into this basketball season?
I mean, just on paper, like, we're probably one of the top teams.
Do you expect to be number one? Do you want to be number one?
Yeah. I think we have the best team. Like, just looking back at the roster from last year and the guys that we picked up in the portal. I think New Mexico will be up there. I think Nevada will be up there. I think San Diego State will also be up there. New Mexico, UNLV,
Utah State. Did they drop off from last year?
Utah State will still be up there. I think there might be some. They were picked so low last year and they kept a good chunk of their roster that won the league last year. I know they lost Osabor, but they still got some great players, and there's just a lot of good players in this league. So I don't really know what the poll is going to look like on Thursday.
How do you keep the focus? Because we all know, every fan, everybody listening, 208-424-9300. If you got a quick question for Tyson, give us a shout real quick. Everybody knows, win the first tournament game, the 0-10 in the tournament, this and this and this and that. Yeah, you want that, like Ryan said, more than anybody. Of course you do. Leon wants that more than anybody. But how do you keep that over there and just focus on Oakland coming in here day one? Is that difficult to do? Because you've done this 3 times, Tyson. You've been to the tournament 3 years. Every year you've been here. You've had the same result, and now you just be, chomping at the bit to get back and do better on that stage. But how do you keep that march that far away?
It's hard because, you obviously want this end goal. You want to, reach this end goal like everyone does. Everyone wants us to win that first tournament game. The hard part is like not looking too far ahead. We can't overlook this Oakland team.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Kentucky last year. Although it's going to be a different roster, it's still going to be a good team. Campy is a great coach.
Yeah.
So we just have to take it one game at a time, one day at a time. You start looking ahead, like, Clemson comes around like November 17th and you start looking ahead, you might go 0-2 against Oakland and San Fran going into that. And that could be detrimental to your tournament resume. So you have to take each game as the most important game on your schedule.
Oakland, November 6th. That is the season opener, Extra Mile Arena. Looking forward to that game. When you guys march out there for those first couple of games and we see you play, kind of the same, some new tweaks, some new players, some new excitement. What's going to be the main storyline of this basketball team, this non-conference, before you dive into Air Force, which I think is early, like pre-Christmas this year?
Yeah, it's pre-Christmas this year, which is crazy. It's December 21st for conference play, but
you got the Cayman Islands tournament, so there's a lot of opportunity.
Although a shorter non-con with 20 conference games this year. But
that's right.
You come and watch us. We want to play fast, play hard, play physical, and win games.
What does it mean to you? And Friday, we're going to do a show about Boise State, 6 games, 6 sellouts, football. Idaho Steelheads open on Friday at home. Last year, 36 games, 35 sellouts. They're trying to get that. This year, the preseason buzz for Boise State basketball tickets is more than we've ever seen before around here in terms of the season tickets, the Leon Landing stuff, some of the packages that they have are being sold out, the lower bowl, all that kind of stuff. That preseason excitement, how much do you guys feed off that? And how much is it different this year than it has been in your previous 3 years?
I think this is the most buzz we've had around Boise State basketball in a long time.
Okay.
Just seeing how the lower 2 bowls are sold out for season tickets, and then now people have to move up to that 3rd level. I remember games my freshman year that 3rd level was blocked off.
Yeah.
Just to see the kind of ascension of the program and the support has been awesome. And I'm hoping, I know we want to get a lot of sellouts. I think we had 4 last year. I want to just keep progressing. It's not going to come overnight. We have to play well on the court, as we know, because when we win, more people are going to continue to show up. It's going to be the place to be. So.
I think there's an element of it's your last chance to see Tyson Degenhart play. I mean, I think there's a big reason Boise State football is going to sell out every game is Ashton Jeanty. They want to see Ashton Jeanty play one more time. I think there's going to be that kind of buzz for you as well, Tyson. I got one text I want to read from Barry in Boise to you real quick, Tyson. It's a question. He says, what do you consider when you determined what went into the Degenhart dozen there at Patriot Perfection?
That's the most important question of the day.
I know,
that's
right?
a great
That's
question.
I was going to get you out of here, but I just want to say it because we all love donuts.
It's probably my 3 favorite donuts, and like those are like in an upper tier by themselves. Like there's the chocolate bar sprinkles 1, maple bars 2, glazed donut 3, and then it's kind of a drop off. So I wanted my 3 favorite donuts with four of them each. So
okay,
that's it.
That's what went into the Degenhart dozen. Tyson, fly safely down to Las Vegas. Mountain West Basketball Medias we'll be following. We'll be paying attention up here, and we love you coming in here in the studio. We can't wait for basketball season to start, even though Boise State's going through its best football season they've had in a long time, man.
Like 23 days, 22. What is this? Crazy.
Gosh, man, are we ready for this?
Probably 22.
22, crazy.
22.
Can't wait to see you, bud.
Thanks for having me.
All right, see you, Tyson. Tyson Degenhart, Prater on the ball game. KTIK, the ticket.
This is Ticket Traffic.
Drive check brought to you by Blaze Pizza.